Coming down to the wire, ballots are going to start being cast tomorrow. And you know what? Hey, just running back what happened over the weekend. It was kind of funny. A whole bunch of campaign events were held, okay? And the Democrats, they were cracking out all the big guns, right? Joe Biden opened up for Barack Obama to about a half-full arena. Really inspires confidence. John Fetterman decided to give a speech while holding on to a podium for dear life. Well, the flags behind him toppled over, and then he just went into his pre-roll without even making mention of the fact that America is literally falling behind him. Perfectly emblematic of his campaign. Even though I still think that he's going to end up winning, guys. Don't be shocked when that ends up happening, because Oz is just so uninspiring. But this isn't about Dr. Oz and his lethargic campaign. No. This is about the two big dogs, okay? The two big boys up there at the top. And first, we're going to focus on the big man, the number one, okay? The number 45 in your playbooks, but number 47 in your hearts. If I have anything to say about it, I'll be very, very, very pointed very soon. But Trump, man, he's moving all across the country. Not too sure where he's going to wind up. And I'm recording this on Sunday so that this goes out and hopefully has a shot to being monetized when you guys see it, okay? Whatever, it would be 3 o'clock local time, okay? But regardless, okay, it'll be going out. I don't know how many more stops he's going to be making. I don't think Florida's really going to be on his campaign notice because everybody's pretty much got it on lockdown there. I think, hey man, if he wants to make a big press about anything, it's like the obvious place is probably Arizona. But I think Georgia could probably use your help. But then again, that would also involve mending fences with stupid Raffensperger and then also Brian Kemp. But Herschel Walker could really use the boost, because that's another one where I just don't know, man. I couldn't call that one at all. So we'll just have to wait until tomorrow, the 8th, in order to really place, final bets on that type of stuff, because we'll probably be looking at polls at the end of the day. But whatever, regardless, okay? So what was going down in Pennsylvania Saturday? Yes, Saturday was when all the fun things went down. Like I said before, Barack Obama just went up there and shucked and jived. It has nothing to do with race. It's just his same old fucking grift. He delivers one hell of a speech when it's written down for him. When he has to go off script, whenever his teleprompters break down, that's where he starts to makes Fresh from Fresh and Fit look like the perfect orator. But it's funny because I see the picture of Joe Biden there. I just don't know what he was saying, because when he was out in California, okay, last time that we talked about this crispy old bastard, he was making some very, very large statements that he didn't want to address or back up when he was back over in Pennsylvania. He was saying that he was going to be shutting down all the coal plants across the nation, something that plays really well along the left coast, but outside of that, it's like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Okay, that sunk Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016, and it would have for you in 2020 if, well, you know the thing. Anyways, Pennsylvania. Okay, what happened there? Okay, at least on the Trump side. Huge rally that went down there. Huge, if I'm to just go ahead and cite a great man. But we'll recap this a little bit, because he brought everybody up on stage, okay? And yeah, no, there's I guess a screenshot of, the midget in the middle. He's running for governor that's out there, okay? His name's Josh Shapiro. He's a slight little fellow. He's currently the district attorney of Pennsylvania. How's that working out for you? Anyways, crime spikes, popular convenience store chains are having to leave and close up shop because of rampant youths frequenting their locations. Hey man, and then Fetterman out there, I don't know, looking for his wife with an EpiPen or something. It's like, that motherfucker, he's not well, okay? Like, it's getting even more pathetic as the days roll on, but even still, man, we've had actually dead motherfuckers win elections before, so nothing will shock me. Nothing will shock me at all. I've seen a couple of reports out there that Oz is actually winning big. I'll believe it when I see it. I won't be terribly shocked if either one of them... Again, this isn't about Pennsylvania. This is supposed to be about Ron DeSantis and handoff. Anyways, all three current former presidents urged voters to support candidates from their respective parties, but for very different reasons. There you can see right there. Can we pull this up just a little bit better? Yeah, okay. You got Trump right behind Oz, who barely looks salient, okay? I didn't watch the rally or anything like that. I seen that it was well viewed online, but I don't know what kind of a response this motherfucker gets. I'll probably run it back just a little bit just to see how enthusiastic the Trump base is about Oz, but I couldn't imagine that he got a rousing applause. Whenever I hear it recapped by different articles that are out there, it's like Mastriano gets a thunderous ovation. Trump, he gets the Trump pop, okay, which is, like the Road Warrior pop from way back in the day, and then Oz gets a polite applause, and it's like, get your fucking lethargic ass off the stage. Nobody wants to see you, okay? If you're not being propped up by Oprah, who the fuck are you? But this is all about Trump, because there's also those rumors out there, and that video's gone out yet? Yeah, no, anyways, he's supposed to be making his announcement that he's going to be running for 2024, and we get to kick off all the shenanigans on the 14th. Maybe sooner than that, okay, whenever he wants to take his victory lap. I'm hearing he might move it up to Thursday, which would be something to see, a sight to behold for certain, but we'll have to wait to see. We'll have to wait to see on this one. Okay, so Trump, and after Oz was, I don't know, pushed off stage or some shit like that, every freedom-loving American needs to understand the time to stand up to this growing left-wing tyranny is right now. If you want to save your rights and liberties, you have to start by dealing a really humiliating rebuke of the radical left in this upcoming election on Tuesday. That was a part of what Trump said when he was up there. The former president also criticized Biden's controversial remarks about the coal plants on Friday. Yeah, see, he'll bring that up because Trump knows how to campaign, okay? When he has a very obvious enemy right in front of him, oh boy, he just takes him down. There's nobody else in politics that can do this, okay? Carrie Lake's doing an awfully decent impression, and Ron DeSantis, this is something that I've been consistent on, and my criticism is he's learning, okay? He's assembling his different character traits in order to take on his own version of the persona of Trump, but he's still learning. He's a good governor. Like, don't take that away from him, okay? You might have some dark money that's coming in. We'll elaborate on that in a little bit, but he is very good for Florida. You can't take that away from him, but can that manifest, and can you extrapolate that out towards the entire country? Perhaps, but we just haven't seen it so far. And then when it comes to campaigning, he's kind of uninspiring. Okay, because you remember the polls. Maybe you don't, but back in 2018, okay, he was expected to lose to Andrew, I like to smoke crack in hotel rooms with gay escorts Gillum. He was going to lose to that motherfucker, okay, and then now all of a sudden everybody wants him to run for president in 2024. Like, just fuck off already, okay? It's going to be Trump. Get the fuck out of the way, and then fucking fall in line or get the fuck out. It's simple as that. So yeah, back to campaign Trump, because, he's going to kick it into the gear finally. Once he makes that announcement, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good, because now we're just going to get 2 uninterrupted years of just spurging out on ones. It's going to be like a throwback. Everybody likes a good remake out there, and we're just going to have 2016 all over again, baby, with this campaign cycle. The content that's coming. Trump criticized the Biden administration over its many policies, including its border disaster and the push for people to buy expensive electric cars. This also at the expense of affordable gasoline models. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a way that you can transition from the combustion engine towards electric vehicles, okay? It's just not what Biden's doing, okay? We're going to do this. It's like, well, no, you allow the technology to catch up with price points, and then you just have a slow implementation. Just think about old CRT televisions. Who do you know in today's day and age that still has an old CRT, that isn't an old console gamer that just wants to play, I don't know, fucking PS1 games on, an accurate screen, and they just won't get behind fucking emulation at this point in time, okay? Outside of those couple of fucking basement dwelling weirdos, which, hey man, if I had the opportunity, I'd totally fucking do it too. So let's stop the cap there for a second. But that's what happened there, okay? And the move to flat screens was quick. They were still offering, okay? Even when I was at, doing my, I worked at Best Buy for a while, and I got some good stories that are down there. And oh my God, we'll have to elaborate that on a different time and all that stuff. But even when I was working there in the late 2000s, okay? They were still selling, this is very niche, and this is definitely dated for the time, but they were selling the combination DVD, VHS, CRT built-in televisions, okay? It wasn't a big selection, but they were still available at the time, okay? You have to continue to offer the old solution that's out there, okay, in order to move forward the technology. It's like moving from, Just keeping it with media, okay? Like, it all started with the 8-track, okay? And then the tape cassette came out, and it was a affordable and tangible improvement over the previous technology, and then CDs came out, and now everything's, well, fucking digital, okay? That's what happened out there. You continue to offer the same existing technology, and eventually people are going to catch up once they have the opportunity. It's the old marketing term, okay? You got your early adopters, and then you got the rise to the mainstream, and then the mainstream catches up, and then you got your slower adopters, and then you got your, final adopters. Like, another thing that I can mention, my parents, okay, they still have cable television, okay, but they didn't get the high definition option until the mid 2000s, or the mid 2010s, actually. Like, it wasn't really a big thing, and it didn't really much matter. Okay, your DVDs looked better because, well, obviously that was taking advantage of the technology, but for, hey man, watching the news or some shit like that, or fucking NCIS, who the fuck knows? Do you really need it in fucking 1080p? No, not really. Okay. But instead, just trying to foist things for, I don't know, my environment or my climate change or whatever the fucking current gimmick is in order to push electric cars over existing technology that's in everybody's close proximity. You can't just make that leap overnight. It's fucking stupid. It always has been, and it fails with regular people. It might resonate with the people who just normally rely on public transportation in the deep blue metropolitan areas, but outside of that, you go ahead and try to shift to electronic technology on a farm, okay? You go ahead and try to make John Deere switch their entire fleet electric overnight. See how quickly that works, and see how willing all of those farmers will be, okay? The guys who know how to fix, or at least fix them enough in order to harvest the crops that are on the field, okay? See how quickly they want to change technology. No, exactly. It might be a laudable effort. It might be the right way to go into the future, but we'll see it as technology shifts along. Regardless, back to this, okay? Former president also criticized, Biden's controversial remarks about coal plants on Friday, saying it was a slap in the face to the state's coal industry. And yeah, Trump knows that's a winning talking point because, again, just harken back to 2016 when Hillary Clinton mostly affected West Virginia, especially at the time, but yeah, also bled over to the Rust Belt, and that's why every single one of those states went for Trump. Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin. Wisconsin went for him, and West Virginia, Pennsylvania, all of them went for Trump. And then in 2020, well, we can't say what we really want to about 2020 other than it's the most secure election of all time. Literally, guys, don't worry. We even have proof, thanks to time, that it was fortified for your benefit. Biden's comments immediately drew criticism from a fellow Democrat Senator Joe Manchin. Yeah, fuck Joe Manchin, man. You're just a spineless pussy at this fucking point in time. Haven't heard from you in a minute because you just cucked out, and now, hey, we just seen the colors that you actually put on display. It's like, just fuck off. You're not going to be relevant once Republicans take back control of the Senate. Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? But yeah, just compare and contrast this picture, because it just moved back. Like, I'm not going to be recapping all of the Trump speech about this, but take a look. Okay, obviously, these are probably selectively chosen pictures, obviously. You got Trump just staring at daggers through the back of the head of Oz. It's like, I endorse this dumb cunt. Oh, well, sucks to suck. But then you take a look at the one that they chose for Doug Mastriano right there, who, okay, hey man, if you want to take a look at track records, Doug Mastriano definitely has one. He was the state senator at the time. I think he was the head of the Senate for the state of Pennsylvania, okay, especially during 2020, and he was very strong and very steadfast to get those special sessions called. He was trying to do literally everything in order to navigate, in order to get to the bottom of certain things that were going on. Ultimately, it was unsuccessful, but he did end up trying his fucking hardest, so he totally, 1000%, deserves the endorsement that he gets. And the way that Trump is just smiling at him, you can see a complete and total difference on that one. And the way that, Mastriano integrates Trump into the way that he speaks, because I've listened to a couple of his speeches that are out there, okay? He is very perceptive of the people that are around him, okay? I like Doug. I think he'll probably do a pretty decent job, okay, if he becomes the governor of Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania is going to be a weird place to be looking at because they already said expect delays in counting the votes. Interesting. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure. Safe and secure. The democracy would something. Don't really by a goddamn word you're saying. Anyways, Pennsylvania desperately needs Oz in the Senate. Could very well be the tie-breaking vote. No, just hope Masters pulls through. Walker does a good thing, so just go down there and rally for him. So Mastriano, Trump called him a fighter and a warrior for the America First agenda. He's the only person in the race standing between your family, Pennsylvania being destroyed by violent crime, Trump said. Philadelphia with 447 homicides so far this year. A far cry from Chicago, which just crested 600 over this weekend. Congratulations, Lori Lightfoot. More TikTok dances, I'm sure. On pace to exceed last year's record of 562 murders. Hey, man, what do you... Holy shit, we only got like 6 weeks left this year. Wow. Okay, that just sank in for a second. Wow, I was going to say 2 months, but we're coming up to the midpoint of the month. And, okay, sure. Okay, so not 6. 7 months left in the year. Or 7 weeks. You wish months. Then we'd be heading into summer and not this disastrous winter. Anyways, Trump added, Doug will clean up Harrisburg and he will stand up to the special interests. He'll protect our workers and Doug will not rest until he has restored public safety to Pennsylvania. Polling aggregates cite Real Clear Politics currently rates Pennsylvania's governor race as leans Democrat. Yes, very interesting. Okay, with estimates showing Democratic gubernatorial candidate and Attorney General Josh Shapiro holding a 10.7-point lead. Wow, I didn't think it was that bad. Holy fuck. I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like, Pennsylvania is going to be weird. And that's definitely going to be the state that I'm going to be spending and focusing most of my time on Tuesday night. I think Arizona is probably a foregone conclusion. Georgia will be interesting for the one race. It's like, okay, Stacey Abrams, really? But then outside, yeah, just a couple of weird little house races. Everything else is, in my opinion, pretty much sewn up. But I've been surprised before. Couple years ago. Anyways, at one point in the rally, Trump hinted again that he will run for president in 2024. 2 days earlier, he said of another White House bid, he would be very, very, very probably do it again in only the way that Trump can execute that line of eloquence. Hey, everybody, I promise you, in the very next, very, very, very short period of time, you're going to be so happy, beautifully happy, wonderfully happy, hugely happy. So again, the date that we hear... 14th. Could be quicker than that. Okay, it could just be a celebration. Okay, after all the ballots are cast, numbers are counted, elections are called. I would probably just call, a snap rally at a moment's notice and just unfurl the banners and then just have a big old laughing session at whatever place will host you. But Trump's saying that he's going to be running in 2024. Like, we've already known this for a long time, okay? Outside of, just an act of God, which, Lord have mercy, I certainly hope not, it's going to be him, okay? And if you were anybody else in the Republican Party, you take a look at all the numbers that are out there, why the fuck would you get in this guy's way, okay? And that's what Trump was doing, because this was also at the Pennsylvania rally, okay? He was reading down, okay? We could just go to the quote right here, anyways, okay? So he pulled up, I don't know what poll this was or anything like that. He's got his big old, video board that he likes to throw to every once in a while. If his campaign team or his team out there just edits together a hilarious Biden gaffe reel, he'll throw to that. Otherwise, he had the opinion poll for who you would vote for, who you would like to see run from the Republican side of the aisle in 2024. If you had everybody at your ready and availability, if they were all on the ballot, who would you vote for? So he threw to it and he said, there it is. Trump at 71%. Ron De-Sanctimonious, say what? At 10%. Mike Pence at 7%. Oh, Mike, doing better than I thought. Trump continued to rally for gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano, Senate hopeful Dr. Mehmet Oz. And oh boy, that sparked a whole bunch of controversy all over the social media landscape. Oh my God, he called him Ron De-Sanctimonious. I thought they were tight. Yeah, bro, to me, fucking much ado about nothing, really. Ex-Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who immediately jumped to Ron DeSantis's defense because, oh boy, he's got some deep state skeletons in his closet. Pompeo, that is. So does Ron, and we'll break those down here really quickly. Jumps to defend DeSantis after Trump's Ron DeSanctimonious comment. Okay, so he said, after former President Donald Trump nicknamed the Republican Ron DeSanctimonious during a Pennsylvania rally for gubernatorial candidates and the Senate candidate in Pennsylvania, not tired of winning. Ron DeSantis, you've proven conservative policies work. Florida is better for it. Vote for Ron DeSantis. Yeah, of course, he's still running a campaign, right? And it's kind of weird. Every once in a while you hear something like, okay, he's doing so well against Charlie Crist, who's going to absolutely dog walk here on Tuesday. Like, I don't think that's, going to be a surprise to anybody. Even the polls have to concede that, yeah, it's not really all that close. So he's been out there campaigning also for Lee Zeldin in New York, which is going to be interesting. You got to have at least a partial eye on that election there for the governor's mansion in Rochester. What's DeSantis doing? Like, I know he's signed a bunch of bills, okay? He's really placated his base in the best possible way, okay? He's not pandering to them or anything like that. He's just doing what he says that he's doing, following through on the words that he says and showing that he's a man of his word. But what's his campaign doing? Because I haven't really seen a lot of stuff coming out of his campaign. We're all just kind of taking it for granted. But how's he comporting himself? Because everybody thinks that's a foregone conclusion that he's eventually going to run for president in one form or fashion. Now, of course, all the old confused boomers want him to run in 2024 because, well, Trump didn't win in 2020, therefore, that makes him unelectable. Fucking retarded, but we've laid that out multiple times over. But you can take a look at some of his campaign signs there. Interesting, very interesting, because he released that kind of funny but kind of cringe Top Gov campaign ad, so he's adopted that, which is going to age like milk, but whatever, it's catchy for the time being, right? Like, you take a look at some of the font that's on this. Can we blow that up for a second? Yeah, you can see it right down there in the corner. Okay, so yeah, that's what you have right there with the crest, of course, and then you've got something that's a bit of a hallmark for Trump, right? 3 or 4 words to just summarize what your campaign is all about, and he has keep Florida free. Sounds an awful lot like keep America great, doesn't it? Yeah, something like that, okay? And yeah, you know what? Hey, man, that's the tone and the tenor of the Republican Party, right? Okay, you know who's popular, okay? You can see whose endorsements went, 111 and 4? Like, the motherfucker knows exactly where shit's going, okay? So he adopts it. He's good friends with him. He's broke bread with them before. It's not a shock to anybody that they line up on the whole bunch of fucking policies. But in politics, here's the thing. You're only as good as what you've done lately. And what has Ron done lately? Okay, again, I don't want to discredit anything that he has done, because he's done a lot of very good things, okay? His parental rights and education bill is fucking perfect. It spurred out everybody. Disney right at the top of that list. He made sure, and he fought like hell in order to make sure that mask mandates weren't in public schools. He went back and forth between the Supreme Courts at the Florida level, and he ended up winning that fight, okay? Those are just a couple of things that immediately come to the top of my head. But we also can't forget that, yeah, there was a mask mandate in the state of Florida, albeit very briefly, but it did happen. And he revoked it, but he never implemented it again. So you got to give him props for that. And this is by no means a takedown of Ron DeSantis. Don't get it twisted. But if you're coming in here to fucking downvote the video, you haven't made it this far anyways. But on November 4th, he really started his campaign, because he 13 stop, Don't Tread on Florida tour. Again, he's not really a revolutionary, okay? Can we call this out for what it is, okay? Like, he's adopting a whole bunch of different, more popular people's positions, okay? Because, again, what is it? It's don't tread on me, okay? The Gadsden flag, all of that stuff. Yes, that really is, it plays incredibly well for his base. Can't take that away from him, but he's not coming up with his own ideas. He's innovating on the ones already available. Nothing wrong with that. But it's not exactly the hallmark of a leader, okay? You'd come up with your own shit if you had the opportunity to do it. And there you can kind of see it in the back, and we'll just blow up the picture there for everybody. Okay, you got the Keep Florida Free messaging. Tell me that doesn't look like it wouldn't look out of place on a Trump campaign stage, okay? But then you also take a look at that rally crowd. That's not a Trump rally crowd. Let's fucking call it exactly what it is here, okay? And then you got Chris there, just, I don't know, man, campaigning in a fucking parking lot. Dude, that's going to be so embarrassing, because I think you even got Biden's endorsement on that one. But hey, man, Ron DeSantis, okay? So we know how Trump campaigns, okay? So what's DeSantis doing for the next 46 minutes? DeSantis decried Biden's policies, bringing up sore spots for Americans, such as inflation and the Inflation Reduction Act. The bill's name shows lawmakers are insulting our intelligence. Legislation, among other things, reportedly adds 87,000 IRS agents, sounding, Because what's his campaign slogan? Keep Florida free. Huh, okay. That sounds like it's a much more national problem, okay? Not to say that there won't be certain people in Florida that aren't going to be hit by the IRS. That totally makes sense, okay? No state income tax, but there is still the federal income tax. So, yeah. They're going to be coming in and checking the books for a bunch of people that are out there. But then he starts talking about other things, okay? They're not going to go after liberals in Hollywood and Manhattan. Okay, other places that are out there. Okay, what about the ones in Tallahassee? Okay, those IRS agents are going to go after people like you. They're going to go after people with a fleet of accountants or lawyers. They're going to use the power of the government to crush small businesses, blah, blah, blah. Why don't we have 87,000 Border Patrol agents? All of that type of stuff that isn't exactly unique to Florida. Okay, and then, of course, yes, the good old-fashioned God and family. Make sure you placate the religious right that's out there and make sure that you take the God pill. By God, Charles Whale, colonel of the Florida Department of Corrections, runs a state prison like Lake Butler. He's also held conservative values that focus on God and family. He told the Epoch Times, it has not been the sort to attend political rallies, but I just really love Ron DeSantis because he talks about the Jesus. Don't take that as a slight, and don't take that as an indictment of his policies. But whenever you gotta go up there and thump your Bible, and you gotta talk about Psalm 3:16, well, guess what? Trump 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass in these upcoming elections. Just saying. And then, okay, so you got that Ron De-Sanctimonious. Where did all that shit come from? Well, we just took a look at what Ron was actually talking about, and really got that holier-than-thou persona down. Pretty fucking good, if you ask me, talking about a whole bunch of overarching problems, okay, that are, it could affect what is going on in Florida, okay? And obviously, he's got to have something to do for 2 years, but if he's got the itch here in about 18 months' time, okay, if he wants to do it, he's got some backers that are out there, okay, and somebody who he actually has a history with, because I was doing a little bit of research on this one. I wanted to figure out where exactly did that attack, as some people are calling it. But for me, it's like, okay, like, just go back to campaigning Trump, because that's what Modi's in right now. Didn't he have nicknames for literally everybody that he was up against? What was it? Little Marco went on to endorse Marco Rubio for this current election cycle. Lying Ted, your dad helped with the JFK assassination. He's also a CIA asset. And weren't you born in Canada, you little freak? Grow a beard, you look like a creepy large toddler. You're strange man. Also endorsed Ted and worked very, very closely with him. So that right there, it's just like, okay, cool, that's campaign Trump. He gives everybody fucking nicknames. And he sees Ron DeSantis. It's like he can also read a fucking poll. Who's number 2 on that list? A distant number 2, but okay, if they're going to be on the debate stage together, if he has a shot at debating him on stage, you guys remember some of those primaries that were going on, okay? All of those Republican presidential debates that were happening, and fucking Christ, those were internet blood sports, okay? For as much as you could get on network television. That was Trump being Trump, the most Trump he could be. So, if Ron's going to be on stage, okay, he's got to learn and he's got to stand up so he doesn't end up pulling a Jeb Bush. So why do you think? Because Jeb, he can't run again, okay? The moment Trump fucking big bro'd him, okay, when Jeb was up there on the stage, oh, this guy, he just results the schoolyard tactics, and that's not very presidential. And then Trump was like, no, shush, quiet, and then Bush just stood there and he didn't say anything afterwards. He ended his political life at that fucking point in time. I'm surprised we didn't see little size 7.5 fucking sneakers just out of frame, okay, just swinging back and forth, because there was no future for him at that fucking point in time. So now, because the Bushes can hold a fucking grudge, okay, that goes all the way back to great-great-grandpappy, okay, helping create the CIA, but even still, as old Prescott. Got a video of him up on the channel. What a fucking loser that dude is. Well, let's call this what it is. The Bushes are the Clintons of the right, okay? And him throwing support behind Ron DeSantis, just like he did in his 2018 campaign. Now you could kind of excuse this one away, right? Like Ron DeSantis was the underdog. Jeb Bush was the former governor of Florida. That all makes sense, okay? You guys are all together in that political pot, right? The fundraiser is chaired $50,000 donation and co-chaired $25,000 by Bush, lobbyist Rodney Barreto, and University of Miami trustee Manny Cadre. So yeah, Jeb Bush to help Ron DeSantis raise money next week in Coral Gables. But yeah, no, this is from 2018. So, okay, already raised the money for that election down there. It's, we know what direction it's going to go, okay? And if it doesn't, well, there'll be some questions to be asked, of course. And that'll just end up summarily ending Ron DeSantis' career. But that's not going to happen, okay? It's really not. So now, okay, looking forward to the future, well, Jeb Bush has got to do something in this upcoming election out there, okay? What's he going to do? Well, he's going to try to throw political capital behind somebody who he already helped get elected to begin with and hope that he reciprocates, okay? So seeing this type of stuff, really makes you look at it all cross-eyed. Ron DeSantis fan Jeb Bush envisions formidable campaign in 2024. Jeb Bush envisions Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be formidable contender in 2024 should he throw his hat into the ring. Well, if he's going to be campaigning for him and if he's going to be raising money for him, let's see if he has a little bit of a sway behind that one, okay? Although considering, that's what it should be, not conditioning, that he has not endorsed anybody, Bush dubbed himself a big Ron DeSantis fan and lavished praise on the stewardship over Florida, a state that he ran as governor from 1999 to 2007. He will be a formidable candidate if he runs. Sorry for adding too much enthusiasm and charisma over top of a Jeb Bush statement, but that's all I can do, okay, for lots of reasons, Bush told Fox News' Neil Cavuto. There's another one who should be swinging in an interview Thursday. Not literally, but just in the ratings, I guess. But the reason why I'm a Ron DeSantis fan is he's governed effectively in the state that I love. He's been a really good governor. Wow. Strong praise. Please endorse. If DeSantis follows in Bush's footsteps, venturing from Florida governor to presidential hopeful, he could similarly square off with former President Donald Trump. Both Trump and DeSantis have consistently polled as top contenders in the hypothetical 2024 matchup. Neither Trump nor DeSantis have formally declared a presidential campaign, though Trump has teased another run. And yeah, no, it's just a matter of days at this fucking point in time. And DeSantis is still running for his second term as Florida governor, which there has term limits. Thankfully, there should be term limits on fucking everything. So realistically, if you want to take a look at all of this stuff, the big over-the-top extrapolation, Jeb Bush is trying to push on Ron DeSantis, trying to raise money for him. He wants to push him because, again, the Bushes hold a fucking grudge, okay? They don't like Trump, okay? Mostly because Trump, well, ended the political life of Jeb Bush. He's a fucking living meme for a reason. He's going to have to act from the shadows in order to have any fucking poll going forward. He was supposed to be the chosen one. It was supposed to be Clinton, Bush, 2016. But Trump came in and completely threw a monkey wrench into the entire fucking system, and they haven't gotten over it since. So that's why they're trying to spark some controversy, because, hey man, if they can't get the candidate that they want, this is the uniparty I'm talking about at this point in time, okay? The Bushes, the Clintons, okay? If Biden's gonna shamble his ass, or Kamala Harris, or they can't figure out anybody else to run in 2024, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? Well, you gotta get the Democrats in there, but okay, if you can somehow figure a way to destroy the Republican Party from within, that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to stoke, okay, the two most popular characters right at the top of the GOP ladder. They're going to try to square Trump off against Ron DeSantis, okay, because there is nothing to Ron Sanctimonious, okay? Not the man. I'm talking about the title that Trump bestowed upon him. That's nothing. That's campaign Trump, okay? That's just, okay, you stay over there for the time being, okay? I've got your back. Because you take a look at Rasmussen, okay? They just posted this picture, okay? This was literally hours after that statement was made. Hey, man, these guys are bros. It's just business. DeSantis already said multiple times over, and everybody fucking knows it. If Trump wants to run in 2024, everybody gets the fuck out of the way. The only person dumb enough to probably run will be some form of John Kasich and Mike Pence, and those debates, that'll be fucking funny, and it'll just expose Mike Pence for being the career politician that he is, and it'll just give an opportunity for Trump to just say, I know one of the biggest problems that I had during my presidency was the people that I surround myself with. Case in point, my vice president, what an uncharismatic sack he is. It's a shame. It's a shame, Mike. You should have took our friends out there on January 6th up on their offer.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, don't read too far into this. It's a trending topic right now. 289,000 tweets on it. Oh my God, there's division within the Republican Party. Yeah, just please don't mind that house fire that has DNC on the fucking front yard. Christ almighty. If you can't see that, I don't know, man. You just haven't been around the block as long as I have. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.